Other people too were getting ready for the conflict. Into battle. Here the Home Guard was Britain's last line of defence. You can see here two people sending out semaphores from the top of the old Star building on the corner of York Street and High Street. Most of these people were workers on Sheffield newspapers. Remember that in addition to their duties in the Home Guard, they were also working at all hours to get the papers out on time. Indeed, there were only 2 occasions when the papers had to be printed elsewhere because of blitz damage. By the way, this unit was a good deal luckier than some. At least they had guns and, from all accounts, it looks as though they know how to use them. Many other units had nothing but pike staffs and pick handles when they came to their mock battle. This is how the book said you had to deal with an incendiary bomb. First, you needed a stirrup pump and a piece of hosepipe. That was a job you had to lie down on. Stirrup pumps were greedy things, and there were always plenty of people standing by to give some helpful advice. Thank goodness there was a fire brigade. These same ARP wardens and firemen were to become heroes when the testing time came. And that testing time wasn't long in coming. The sirens sounded 130 times in Sheffield during the war, sending people scurrying to their air raid shelters and cellars. As you can see from the devastation here, those air raid shelters were very necessary indeed. The worst raids, of course, were between December the 12th and 15th, when more than 300 Nazi bombers blitzed the city for hour after hour after hour. The Marples Hotel in Fitzallen Square. Nearly 70 people died here when the hotel was completely demolished by a direct hit. Next morning, 7 people were dragged to safety from out of the cellar. Rescue workers were astonished. Nobody really ever knew just how many people died in that single tragedy. Factories, shops and offices like this one here, with a safe that incidentally contained just a solid lump of silver when it was opened, silver which had started out as cash. All these buildings were hit. There was no kind of discrimination. Oddly enough, though, the city's industrial East End on that first night escaped the worst of the damage. By late that night, and certainly as dawn broke on the 13th, the city was unrecognizable. Walsh's department store. At one time, it seemed to have escaped the Holocaust, but a strengthening of the wind and a sudden change of direction sent sparks through the shattered windows of the Emporium, and soon that too was an inferno.
Heavily laden with time-expired men, bound for the land they adore. There's many an airman just finishing his time. There's many a twerp signing on. you'll get no promotion this side of the ocean. So cheer up, my lads, bless 'em all. Bless 'em all, bless 'em all, bless 'em all, bless 'em all, the long and the short and the tall. Bless all
It's
the
amazing
sergeants and
to see the damage and to realize that much of this could have been prevented if people had been able to get at the incendiary bombs within the first few minutes. There was as much damage by fire as there was by bombing. And many of the buildings were so badly damaged that the next day, even during the next week, they had to be demolished. Nevertheless, with public roads blocked, scarred and pitted with bomb craters, it wasn't many hours before public transport was underway again. People were on their way to work, walking, many of them, having to make detours because of the dangerous buildings, because they simply couldn't find their way. But get to work they did. The war effort